everyone, Maggie here. This is going to be the construction portion of my video for McCalls 8385. And I'm going to try to go step by step through the sewing directions and show you how to put the dress together. I'm kind of going back to the drawing board with the collar pieces, the pieces that are interfaced, because when I did that initially, I wasn't really happy with the results. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to kind of go back to the drawing board with step one, and I got a nice big square of fabric, and I'm going to see if I can get better adhesion. Before on the other one that I did, it was on both pieces there was a little ripple in it, so I'm going to see if we can get a better application. I'm going to turn my iron up, and then I think I'm going to use actually a piece of Teflon over this to get the heat up even higher. So we'll try that and see if we get better results and cut out my pattern pieces. Okay, so I am pretty happy with, this is my fused section here. I'm pretty happy. I don't think any of the fabric is bunchy. So I'm just going to fold this over, and I'm going to repin my collar pieces and cut them out again. The collar is really important part of the dress, because you know, people will see it. So I can kind of decide where I want the roses on here. I have this folded, and I want to kind of have the roses maybe in the middle, so that's another one of the benefits of redoing it. Okay, I'm just marking these collar pieces again, the new ones. So what I did was I took a little hole puncher and I punched out the spots, and I have got some heat erasable pins that I'm trying, and I'm just marking them on the interface side. So yeah, I already did the notches, so I think this does look better. There's no like bunching or anything on it, so pretty happy with that. Hi everyone, Maggie here. I am just working on my project. I'm doing some sewing. So I am actually on step 2. I am going to be, oh actually I already did that. I serged that edge. I'm going to be doing these basting lines here that go all the way to this dot, which I'm surprised it goes all the way to the dot, because the dot is going to be folded in, but I'm going to do it on the 2 front pieces. Let's step, and then and on the back piece, and then this has to be folded in and basted. So yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to increase my stitch length, and okay, increase my stitch length to I think about 320. So I'm going to start at about 5/8 of an inch in, because I'm not going to want to gather what's going to be sewn in. So okay. and this is going to be gathered in, I guess, into the collar. So this is one of the front pieces. Okay, and there's the, I'm going right by the notch, and then it says to go all the way to the dot. So I'm going to do it, but that's going to be actually, I'm surprised because that's going to be like in folded in. So all right, and so then just inside of that line I'm going to do another line, and I got my stitch length at 3.2. I think I prefer this method for gathering to any of the others that I've used before, so I just like to use the basting. Hello, I'm working on step 3 right now, and getting that front edge. And what I decided is that I am not going to add additional interfacing here because this edge turns under again. So what I did was I made sure that I had it, that it's at 2.5 inches on the pattern piece. This fold line is in 2.5 inches, and then what happens is this folds in on itself, so it's kind of like self-based. And then you go back and baste it, which would be the next step. So what I did was I got my crease there, so I have a nice crease, and then I'm going to be folding it in again. So you can see my crease right here. So I'm just turning this in. This is the correct edge because I actually measured it. So I am just finger pressing this edge, and then I'm going to turn it over at the crease and press it again, and then it's going to be basted. Okay, so I just put a few pins in, and I'm going to press the second fold, and then what I'll be doing is I will be basting it from the front side. And this is the front button band, the inside of it. I'm working with the front piece, step 3 here. I am basting across the top there, and then basting all the way down and across the bottom about 5/8 of an inch below the bottom there. I'm using a really long basting stitch for this, and I'm going to do it in 2 steps. This is 5/8 of an inch from the top. I don't want to interfere with those gathering lines, so it's below the gathering lines. I want to do it in 2 steps because I'm going to be pulling this out. And I thought I was going to be sewing from the front side, so I actually put my pins in on the front side. But here I am basting starting at about 5/8 of an inch, and right on that edge, right very close to that edge, with a very long basting stitch. Okay, interruptions. So, I wanted to say a little bit about where I learned to sew. I actually have been sewing since I was probably about, I want to say 13 years old, and I was primarily taught by my mother how to sew, Also, my grandmother was a really excellent seamstress. So I don't know how my mother, how she had time, because I'm from a big family, but she did teach me and my sisters how to sew. And when we were, you know, early teens, in our early teens, we did sew a lot of our own clothes. And then home ec was really big in the school that I went to. So I took sewing in home ec. So that was my first exposure to it. And I've always loved sewing. Hi everyone, I'm up to step 6, and what I am doing is I am pinning the side front to the side back, piece 4 to piece 2, and then after that I will be sewing them. These are my 2 pieces pinned together. I have a pin about every 2.5 inches or so, which that's plenty. So do that for both sides. Hi everyone, Maggie here. I'm up to step 6 here. What I am doing is I am sewing my piece 4 to my piece 2, which is the front side, to the back side. And after that we will attach the skirt. That's the next step after this. I have to gather up the skirt first and pin it. Hi everyone, Maggie here again. On to the next step, step 7. I will be stitching 2 gathering lines for each of the side ruffles. And then I will be going on to step 8 after that. For my first row of basting, I'm doing it just inside 5/8 of an inch, because I don't want these gathering lines to show. And I'm hoping I won't have to pull them out after I sew the seam. If they show, I will have to pull them out. But when I go to do the final seam, it's going to be just outside of this basting line. And that'll give me some nice solid gathers when I pull the bobbin thread up on both of these pieces. It'll give me like a nice, it'll be nice and strong. We have 2 rows of stitching. If one fails, then you always have the other row stitching to work with. The other gather row or whatever, gather row. And it's also actually easier to pin when if you have 2 rows. If you got a lot of gathers, it helps to have the 2 rows. It helps with the pinning and everything. And the gathers are like a little more structured this way. Quite as haphazard. So it's probably more time consuming than other methods, but anyway, that's what I'm doing this time. Just up to about 5/8 of an inch, okay, and give myself a nice long thread tail there. And that's it for that. I have to do both of them. Okay, on to step 8. So what I'm doing is I'm gathering up those side ruffles, and I'm going to be attaching them to the bodice front and bodice back. These side pieces have a little bit of a curve, so I'm using my tailor's hand and pressing the seam open before I can attach it to the ruffle. So each one of these, I don't even think I have to really clip them. It's not enough of a curve to have to clip it, but yeah. My iron was sitting for a little bit, so it automatically turns off if you let it sit, so gotta let it warm up a little bit. So I'm burning the midnight oil to try to get this project on the move. So here is my gathered skirt piece that is going to be attached to these, you know, for the side, and these are the front side and back side here. Now this is quite a bit of gathering. Luckily I still have my fold line, and that fold is the center of this, and it'll be matched here to this. I'll be pinning these together, probably a lot of pins, and then sewing it, attaching it. Alright, so I have pinned this skirt piece, this side skirt piece, to the front the front and the back, and I will be sewing it up, and yeah. Alright, making some progress. Okie dokie, I'm attaching my side ruffle piece, or side skirt, whatever you want to call it. 5/8 of an inch. I have lots of pins. I'm putting the gathering on the top so I can see what I'm doing. I do a little bit of back stitch there at the edge. And I think I'm going to try to sew like right, kind of like down the middle of this gathering line. I might have to pull out the basting stitch, but I think I can get the most uniform. I'm putting it real close to my stitching line, real close to that bottom gathering stitch. And when I'm doing ruffles, I just sew right over the pins, because if I take them out, I might lose my you know, it might not be as neat if I take them out. So I think I have them pretty uniformly done here. It's not going to be that noticeable, but you have to make sure everything is nice and flat. You know how many pieces are flat. And I think I may stop after this because it is midnight, almost midnight, and I'll have to resume tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be, my session tomorrow will be working on the collar pieces and the sleeve and that kind of stuff. There. Okay. So, let's see how that turned out. We'll get our pins out. Hopefully we didn't get any puckers. I think I'm going to try doing the collar a little differently than the directions call for. This, I'm going to serge this. I have to make sure first that everything is okay. It looks like it went in good. Looking at it quickly. Not bad. Looks like nothing glaring. Okay, I mean, it is a lot of gathers, but I don't see any puckers, just gathers. And let me look on this side. The seams are open here. Yeah, so I'm going to serge this seam allowance here just to neaten it up. Yep. Hi everyone, Maggie back again. I am moving on to the next step, which is step what? Step 8? No, step 9, sorry. Step 9. So I did serge this edge here just to contain the threads and, you know, give it more wear and tear. So in step 9, what you do is you attach the front piece. I'll be attaching the front piece because this is the bust portion on this side, and the drawing is backwards, of course, and the back piece here. Okay, so that's the next thing. I'll be pinning those pieces on. Okay, so I have pinned my front to the side and the back to the back side. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and stitch them up. One of the things that I did find out is I cut the long view of the ruffle, skirt ruffle when I pinned these pieces together. Excuse me. To trim that at the hem. So I have a little extra fabric. Yeah, okay. No harm done. Okay. Sewing that front piece here, 5/8 of an inch. Okay. And I don't even have my sewing machine on. I have to have my sewing machine on. There we go. Got everything pinned. Take my pins out. These two pieces pin together really nicely, so that's good. I have my little markers, but they actually pin together pretty nicely. It kind of fits well. And then I have to press. Get rid of the press. These are the princess seams along the front. Hi everyone, Maggie here. I am up to step 13, the sleeves. The first thing I'm going to do is do my basting lines, and then I'm going to sew my seam here. I won't be doing the poof sleeves. Instead of that, you know, the poof sleeves have lining and everything. Instead of that, I'm going to be just adding a little casing here for elastic. I'm just going to have elasticized sleeves to make it simpler. Just doing my basting lines at the top of my sleeves. First one is up around 5/8, just a little less than 5/8. Stitch length is 3.2. Stop at 5/8. Get my thread tail and do the next stitching line just a presser foot away from the first one, which is about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to get that thread tangled up there. Okay, so just about pressing foot away. Doing the side seam on the sleeve here at 5/8 of an inch. Folded up a little elastic casing here and stitching that down. I'm going to leave a slight opening in the back. For feeding. I'm going to use 3/8 of an inch elastic. Should be like a fairly thin elastic. Sleeves work well also as like just simple elastic. The shape of them work well as like little simple elastic sleeves. I have done some like that. And since this is going to be just kind of like a house dress, I don't really need like lined sleeves, so I want it to be simple. If I make it out of fancier fabric, I'll try the puff sleeves. Also something that's like not quite as heavy as this calico is. I put a lot of pins in here because it's kind of, I had to kind of like gather in a little bit there because of the curve. And then also, yeah, I did press it also. Pressed it. I think I mentioned that. So then, once I have both of these sleeves prepared, I can set them in to the bodice, and that will be the next step. coming along. I won't be putting the elastic in until towards the end, but I'm just going to do this casing now because it's easier to work with this little piece of rather than the whole dress. Let's try to do this. Facing my best direction here. Getting the pins out, but that's okay. About right there. So I'm just pressing open these princess seams. This is the back here. Okay. And the reason I did the seams this way is because it'll be easy to make any adjustments at a later time if I need to take the dress in or whatever. I should be able to do it pretty easily on these seams. I'm just going to do the front. I'm using my tailor's ham. I did start doing the front. I haven't even done any, or it really didn't even have to do any clipping. So, and that is how it is shaping up. I think it looks pretty good. The princess seams. I'm just going to give that a little steam on this side. Hi everyone, Maggie here. I'm up to step 19. I'm setting the sleeves in here into the bodice. So I'm matching my notches here, and I'm matching this seam to a dot, and then this portion is eased a little bit. So I'll be pinning that in next. Setting in my sleeve here. Hi guys, I just wanted to give you an update. So I tried this on and it actually is a little bit tight. So in the front when I try to close it, so I took out my basting and I'm interfacing this front placket, and I'm just going to fold it over once because it's interfaced. I'm going to serge this edge and then just have it fold over once, because that'll give me like a little more room for the button band and everything. Yep, that's one update. Hi everyone, Maggie here. I just wanted to show you where I am at with my dress. So I have finished putting my sleeves in. I put elastic in, you know, since this is just going to be a house dress. What I ended up doing is serging after I set those sleeves in. I serged that edge to give it better wear and tear. And I just was going to show you the seams also. I actually may end up taking, the dress is a little tight in the waist, so I actually may be taking out these seams here. I'm glad I did it this way, just around the waistline. I have several, even if I can give myself an extra inch, that would be helpful. So I have all these princess seams that I can give myself like maybe a quarter of an inch at each of the 4 princess seams in the waist for now. So that was why I did it that way, and then it can be adjusted if I, you know, when I lose weight. And then I did change the button band. I ended up just folding it one time instead of twice, and I interfaced this. I use like a knit interfacing actually, and then serge that edge. I've got my neck somewhat gathered, not completely, just kind of roughly gathered. And so the next thing I'm going to be doing is attaching the collar, doing the collar and attaching it. Yeah, so, and this is what it looks like. It's going to have a very small hem to it because it is short. If the next time I do it, I would lengthen it a little bit. I don't think I need the full length version, but this length, I'm 5'4", and it is a little short on me, but I mean, for a house dress it's fine. But yeah, so this that's kind of my first version of this pattern in draft toil. Hi everyone, Maggie here. I am making some progress on my dress. I'm coming towards the end. At this point I am up to step 20, which is the collar and neckband, 20, 21, 22, 23, so on. We'll be doing that. So I have piece 9. I don't have a whole lot of experience with collars, so I'm going to be first do the collar, and we'll just do it one step at a time. Okay, so I have my collar pieces pinned together. I actually decided to roughly draw my sewing line, just boost my confidence in doing a collar, because I want it, you know, of course, want it to be shaped just right. So, yep, we'll be sewing that first piece together. Okay, sewing my collar now. I'm actually glad that I drew these little the stitching line just to make it easier. This is on the interfaced side that I'm sewing, and I used a heat erasable pen. Because I want the collar to be the right shape, so. Just kind of roughly drew the sewing line with a ruler, you know, with a clear ruler. Then I will be trimming this. That's the next step. I want to get the shape just right. So I am going to trim these seam allowances, and then I'm going to do some clipping, and I'm going to trim it down to 1/4 of an inch. The corner, I will take a little more off that corner, and I'm going to press it a little bit, and then I'll do some understitching, I think, on the, I'm taking it down quite a bit. I will be understitching on the wrong side. The interfaced side actually is the public side. So I had to make sure that the interface, there are no bubbles or anything on that, so that was why I work carefully on that. I need a lot more experience with collars, because I don't remember even the last time that I did a collar. So I'm going to take this little end off, a little closer to that point, and then I can also take this down a little more. Just being very careful not to go into the sewing line at all, but I just take some of this bulk out of here. I'm going to do like a little bit of clipping along this edge here. This almost to the, of course not into the sewing line, but just a little bit. I love these nippers. I've had them for a long, long time. I get them sharpened. I think I need to get my scissors sharpened. Whoops. Again, I get them sharpened every couple of years, but I get them done professionally. At least the good ones, the good quality ones. I have a few good quality ones. Try not to let anybody, I have to hide them so nobody else tries to use them first. They're only for cloth. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn this, and I'll be pressing it, and I'm going to do some understitching. And so for the understitching, I will be stitching this tiny little allowance to the inside here. I'm going to press it first, but it's going to be stitched on this side to the non-public facing side. What was I going to say? Oh, and then I'm just going to take a pin to get this corner, this little, get this out. I mean, I usually use just a pin. I actually have a turner, but pin works pretty good if you do it carefully. You don't want to pull the whole thing out, so you have to do it carefully. Let's see if I get a nice corner here. Gee, I might need my corner turner. I'm actually even trimming this down just a little bit more because I'm getting just like a little bit of bulkiness in there. Let's try again. I'm just trimming this down just a tad more. Just want to get a nice looking corner. Gently push it out as much as I can with my fingers. just right. Pretty good. Not bad. Okay, so I'm doing my understitching. I'm gonna get in here. I did press this seam allowance. Get back in here as far as I can. Let's see. Whoops, I better pull this. Some thread there. Little back tack. I don't actually think it did that, but I'll tie it off then. So just understitch here to the wrong, it's to the wrong side, and then I can press again. Press it under again. Oops. Looks like I lost my camera. So here I am just understitching. And I'm understitching this allowance to the wrong side, non-public side. I'm just kind of pulling the two pieces away from each other a little bit. Make sure I get those little clip lines good. In there as far as I can. Do a little tack. And then I'm going to ask for a thread tail because I don't want the knot to be on the... My machine does knots for me, but it does it on the underside, which would be the side that shows. So that's why I prefer to do it myself. Yeah. So that is how the understitching looks. And then what I'll be doing is I'm going to be doing some pressing. So this will go under like this. Okay. And it just kind of holds the collar in the right position. So, and this is the no, this is the non-public side, and this is the public side. That's what it looks like. And then you can actually also understitch this leg too, which maybe I will do a little bit there too, just because it seems like it wants to roll out a little bit. Since I did the tack here, I can cut my thread tails real close here, so on both sides. Did like a little, you really can't even see it, so there's that. And then also here, this one doesn't really matter because it's not on this side, not on the side, the public side. Trim that real close. Okay, don't want to cut my string there. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to press this, and looks like I lost my point a little bit, but I'm just understitching this other side here. The instructions don't tell you to understitch, but I'm just doing it just as a matter of course. It's just a little extra step to make it a little neater, and I'm just trying to get in as close as I can to the, there, I'll stop there. Okay, that's it. I can cut my thread tail right off, right, because I did a little back tack there. So this is what it looks like. Okay, and that'll just hold it in nicely. Okay. Of course, I need to do some pressing, and here's the other portion. Okay. Okay, so this is how my collar looks once it's pressed. Looks pretty good. This is going to be the public side, and I'm moving on to the next step, which is I need to turn under the single notch edge here, press and trim it to 1/4 of an inch. Step 22. So I'll be doing that first. Okay, so I did press this edge under. I trimmed it down to 3/8 of an inch. That's what the instructions say to do here for this step here. And then also I did roughly trace around my sewing line on my interfaced piece with a this is heat erasable pen, marking pen, just to make it easier. I don't have a whole lot of experience with collars, so I want to use as many tools as I can to do it correctly. So my next step is going to be step 23, and I am going to be attaching this piece to my collar, like sandwiching it, the two pieces actually. So I'm going to get that pinned, and we'll go back to the sewing table. So what I had to do with this collar, I'm still pinning it. I did have to trim this down to 3/8 of an inch because, and I trimmed all of these edges to 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, because there's going to a little bit of, if you look at this, the collar has to stretch to be pinned in there. This is the collar right in here, and this is the interface stand, and this is the inside stand. So I trimmed this to 3/8 of an inch. I actually painstakingly measured it, and I have some little stitching lines here. So I will be like stretching this and pinning it in, and then sewing it. Okay, so I have my collar pieces pinned together. It worked a lot better to trim it down, and you know, I had to stretch the collar a little bit to get it in there, and I got it pinned. Maybe I'll put one more pin here, and I'm going to start sewing it. Decided it was easier just to trace a stitching line there for myself. You know, I don't have a whole lot of experience with collars, so And this side is pressed under, this underlining, and then I left this seam at 5/8 of an inch. This is what's going to be attached to the dress. I want to go back to the normal stitch length. My machine goes back to normal if I turn it off and on. Okay. There. Okay. Everything's stretched. Kind of pull it a little bit as I sew too, to make sure everything goes in there nice and neatly. Alright, I'm going to reduce the stitch length a little. Okay, it actually does not look bad at all. I probably need to do a little clipping on this curve here, but first impression, not bad. I think that'll look pretty good. So I got to do some pressing and some clipping. Not bad at all. Okay. Okie dokie, so I'm up to step 24. I am pressing my collar. This is the underside of it. I can be pressing it. This is the public side of the collar, which I think is going to look pretty good. So let me press it first, and then we're going to be putting it into the dress. Hi everyone, Maggie here, back again. I'm up to step 25, and I have my collar pinned to the neckband, and I'm going to be sewing that on. So yeah. Hi everyone, I'm up to step 26, where I am slip stitching the neckline. I have it all pinned. I'm slip stitching the collar to the dress. Yeah. Here's a little close up of my collar. You can see it. And that's the stand, which is not bad. I have that pin in it right now. And then the inside is slip stitched. Turned out pretty well. I was possibly going to top stitch it, but I decided not to do that. And these are the sleeves, just the little elastic sleeves for now, because this is just a house dress that I want to be able to throw in the wash and take out. So, and then those are the ruffles. Okay. Hi everyone. 27, turning that facing under on the lower edge, which is like a little mitered corner. That's what I'm doing right now. All right. trying to do like a mitered corner. We'll see how it turns out. Let's see. Oh, actually that worked pretty well. Okay, just got to poke it out a little bit. That's this end piece. It's kind of mitered here. I gotta trim the corner here. Trim this corner. All that surging. There. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna cut the threads a little bit. There's a back tack there. So this is that corner of the hem. Just kind of poke it out. So it looks like this. I'm just gonna tie my loose ends. I think I'll just put a little back tack there. Just to close this placket. See, I think it's up to here. And that's it. Hi everyone, Maggie here. I'm up to step 28. Working on the hem here. Turning up that bottom edge. So, yep. I'm just taking my time, making sure everything's adjusted here and nice and flat. I'm trying to get it close to the edge there. Get my stitching line close to the edge so it'll look neat. And just go all the way around like this. And do a pretty neat kind of like rolled edge here with a surged edge. Hi everyone, Maggie here. I'm on step 29, which is the last step. I actually already did top stitch my front bands, and I used the buttonhole guide and marked my buttonholes. So I will be stitching my buttonholes with my sewing machine, and I'll give you like a little lesson on doing buttonholes. And this will be the last step of the dress. Yay! Hi everyone, Maggie here. I am doing a practice buttonhole. The TV is on loud in the background because my grandson is watching TV. But this is my buttonhole attachment for my machine. And what you do is you take the button that you're going to be using and you put it in this little contraption here so that you get the right size buttonhole. And then you can adjust it. Let me see if I can adjust it. There we go. You get the button in there good and snug. And then I've got to take off this foot, take off that foot on the machine, and then you attach your buttonhole machine, your buttonhole foot. You just have to lower the presser foot to get it to snap in. Okay, now I have it snapped in place. And then you lower this. This is a guide here. You lower that there. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to put my sample piece in here. I got a little dot on it there. And I'm going to lower the needle into the dot. You can see it there. You can see my blue dot there, and I just lower the needle into that. That's my starting point. Okay. Lower the pressure foot. And then I have to select buttonhole on my machine. Okay. I have a regular buttonhole selected. I have a couple of different, I have rounded ends or the square ends. I think I'm going to do the square end. Okay, I got to lower my needle. And let's go. And it stitches backwards. Okay, this is completed. The message is completed. And I think I'm going to try a different type. So that is my buttonhole. Let's try. I'm going to try one of the rounded ones. Let's see. So let me just turn my camera so you can see the control here. Oops. These are the types of buttonholes that I can do right now. I have like the rectangular one selected. Type number 1. I think I'm going to try type number 4 here. There we go. We're going to try that one. Okay, I'm doing my first buttonhole. I think for something different, I'm going to try the oval buttonhole because they're a little bit more low profile. And I've got my buttonhole foot like right in the middle of the where I want the buttonhole. So here goes nothing. Do its thing. Try not to put any real pressure on it. It does like a tack, and then I get a little message that says raise presser foot when it's done. So the first one is done. Okay, we'll go to the next one. I got my line right here. Okay, and I just have to get the needle right in at the bottom. So get my needle in right. Let's see, oh, there's like a little line there at the bottom there. Positioned about where it was on the first one on the placket. Okay. Okay, so that looks about right. I have
That's selected, and here goes. I'm just trying to make sure that the fabric. It's important to just have it. Feed dogs do everything. I just have to make sure that I have the fabric in there, positioned right. Sliding around. Yes. Wait until it gives me a message. Okay. And that's what it looks like. Maybe the other kind. It's low profile, so I think maybe I like the rectangular one better, but let's get this positioned right. Oops. Go. My needle in right where I want it. Lower this. Make sure I have it centered. Also has like a memory buttonhole, which I might actually start doing that, because a couple of times I have had. This is just doing the buttonhole based on the button that I have in the contraption. The memory one will do exactly the exact previous buttonhole. That way there's more uniformity, I think. So a couple of times it's done the buttonholes a little different.
So I am going to be trying this new gadget that I got from Fiskars that is both a seam ripper and a buttonhole cutter. I think it retails for $19.99. I did use a coupon when I got it. I believe it was 40% off. I thought it was worth investing in, and because if I do any alterations on like thrifted items, it has a fancy seam ripper blade that I've never tried before, so I'm looking forward to like trying that. But so we will be trying this. I had a different buttonhole tool that, of course, I can't find it right now. So I thought, well, I'll try this. So we'll try it and we'll see if we like the results. So this is kind of an unboxing, so see if we can get into it. Oh, it's not too bad. So this is what it looks like. These are the blades there. I'll be using the buttonhole blade. I'm not sure if it has anything in here. Oh, okay, it has that blade in there. I think I'll be, and this looks like the tool for the seam ripper. So I believe, now I'm not sure how I changed the blade here. I gotta figure that out. Okay, so this thing folds down, it looks like. Okay, I found out what you do. You actually fold this gadget down and it unhooks the blade attachment here. So I'm taking this blade out. That's the blade that it came with. And then I'm getting my buttonhole blade here. Get that out. Put that in. Okay, so let's do it. So I did put the fray check on my buttonhole, actually on all of my buttonholes, there's a fray check. And we're going to give this a try. I like the fact that this blade is short. I think the one that I had for my tool is a little bit longer, and so I just kind of get it in there in between the two stitching lines. Make sure it's like in there, inside there, good, and then just gonna give it a good press. I'm on a special board here, so I'm just using it the same way that I use my buttonhole tool. Not sure if I like it better. Press. Okay, feel it come through, so let's see how that works. Oh! That looks pretty clean. Yeah, okay. It's not bad. Let's do another one. Cut all my threads off. And make sure you're right in the middle there between the two stitching lines. And you just press it. Yeah, you can hear it cut. It's good if you have like a short buttonhole. Okay, that looks pretty neat. Keep going. I can't wait to try the seam ripper on this. I didn't get that one quite well. You have to really give it a good press down. Put a little bit of, just like a little bit catching here. There we go. Okay. So it comes with like a little container so you can put your blades in there to keep it safe. Probably most likely be using I do paper crafting also, so I might be using this blade. It's a lot better than the blade that I have for paper crafting, so I'll probably be using that one for that paper crafting, and this will keep the blades